see. Got it.
But everyone's been using this one because it just looks good.
Yeah.
All right. You're good. All right. Ready for fun?
Already filming?
Oh, shit. Good call. You're filming. I'm filming. Okay. So just the flow. I'll open up with like an intro, introduce you.
Mm-hmm.
If you get caught or you get stuck, like sometimes you might hear me like cough if I'm talking too much or like that. I do a lot of editing, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'll do intro yourself. We'll kind of talk back and forth, and then it's literally just a seamless conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want me. I love that you brought up the show is not Selling Sunset. I love how you brought up it's not easy how they showed on Selling Sunset.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Pronounce your last name.
Melnikova.
Melnikova. Cool. Perfect. First time we did this with Gil, the intro took us like 10 tries.
Oh my god.
Just kept catching.
It's okay. I've done it before, like at those listing videos or something. Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Cool. Fuck. Now it's locked onto you. So mine rotates.
Why?
So I have to lock onto myself.
Yeah, it's on me. Is it supposed to rotate?
Yeah, it's supposed to catch. Mine is.
Let's
just do this. There we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
Where do I look?
Great.
Here? Or to the phone?
Look at your camera. So when I edit, I'll do my intro, and then I'll pan camera to camera. So. What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dag Life podcast here in San Diego, California. Redo. Take one. What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dag Life podcast with myself, your host, Louis Pisano, here at the Dean Aguilar Group in San Diego. Today's very special guest is my dear friend here at the Dean Aguilar Group, Miss Olga Melnikova. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good.
Doing all right?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So go ahead and please do me a favor and introduce yourself to the crowd watching and tell us a little bit about Olga and your transition into real estate.
Hi, my name is Olga Melnikova. I came to San Diego. It's going to be actually 17 years next month.
17 years?
Yeah, 17 years ago. And I started selling real estate 7 years ago in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. 17 years ago, originally from where?
From Russia.
From Russia. What part?
South part of Russia.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you come to the U.S. 17 years ago?
Oh, I was a student exchange
Okay.
program, and then I went to school here. I got my master's in business.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Were you always in San Diego?
Always.
Always in San Diego. So San Diego is what you know the best about the U.S.
I got really lucky, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's hard not to miss what you get in San Diego, right? So obviously you mentioned that you've been in real estate for about 7 years. Talk to us a little bit about what you were doing prior to that and your transition into real estate and why you went to real estate to begin with.
So actually, it's a interesting story how I decided to get into real estate. I was working for a nationwide medical equipment company, and they had about 50 locations nationwide. And I was wearing a lot of hats in that business, from like accountant, personal assistant, business development, and then I started basically opening offices, other locations remotely. I was negotiating all the leases, commercial spaces.
Right.
I was kind of on the other side of the real estate. And I think I did pretty good. I negotiated a bunch of leases with no personal guarantee and with really good terms. And then that company went out of business after some time. And then I actually started thinking about getting into real estate because I mean I thought maybe I can try. But while I was like studying for my license, I had a friend who is a real estate broker, and I actually worked as a TC for about a year.
Okay.
But I realized that it's not for me. I don't like paperwork as much as I like being out and about,
Right.
showing properties and talking to people and negotiate actual deals. And then I got my license in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's how I started being
So
an
what?
agent.
So
Yeah.
yes, so that's an amazing journey, right? Obviously, going from one end of the spectrum to the other, something that obviously translated for you to get a taste of what real estate will look like to actually get your license and kind of transition to the sales side. So being in real estate for 7 years, what would you say is probably the most impactful thing you've learned?
Impactful thing that it's really hard. People think it's easy. Some people think like, oh, I'm just gonna get real estate license and I'm gonna do it on the side. You can't do real estate on the side. It's you have to be either fully in or fully out
Right.
because it really doesn't work. And I mean, the business is hard. It could be easy.
Right.
You might get like really really easy deals, easy clients, but it's the whole process is hard because you have to explain your clients how it really works. You have to be really knowledgeable about everything.
And there's a lot of moving parts, right? And we talk about it all the time, especially with the agents here, that when it comes to real estate, especially new agents coming in, whether they're newly licensed or new to DAG, right? We talk often about there's two kinds of realtors. There's the
Hmm.
ones that they want it to happen. If it happens, they have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Then there's realtors like us who need it. It's plan A. There's no plan B. We burn the ships. We burn the bridge. It's real estate or nothing. So obviously, in terms of a lot of people, especially we saw a mass exodus into real estate during COVID. And now there's a lot of people that have left in the last year and a half because of how challenging it's actually gotten for a lot of people. And I think the cool thing is that I'm sure you can relate to is that now in real estate it's all about your skill and your ability to kind of learn, grow, and progress through that component. So in your 7 years of real estate compared to from where you started to where you are now, what would you say has been the most influential part for you of growing through real estate?
Definitely, it takes experience and years of working as a realtor.
Right.
And in the beginning, it's really hard because you don't know how to get your clients, how to close the deals. And I think it's great to have a mentor or join team like DAG
Okay.
that's going to really help new agents.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a huge component and a huge moving part in terms of where you're at is going to set you up for success, and who you work with matters not only in terms of client to realtor relation but also realtor to agency and team related, right? So
Hmm.
one thing we're big about here at DAG, the Nagler Group in San Diego, is family, right? In terms of us as a team, we focus a lot about contribution to each other, loving back to each other, energy, time, and resources to each other, and really just making the whole well-oiled machine work. You've been on DAG for how long now?
It's going to be 2 years in
2
July.
years. It's been a fast 2 years.
I know.
So if,
Yeah.
if you can kind of backtrack to when you were thinking about transitioning from the last place you were at and ended up ultimately choosing DAG, what were some of the contributing factors of why you ultimately wanted to join the team here?
I actually heard really good things before even thinking about joining DAG. I've heard good things about Dean Aguilar himself and the team.
Hmm.
And then I decided to join because you guys have a lot of training, resources, lead generation, and culture.
All
And
the things, right? I think
exactly.
I think when we talk about um, what people look for, and whether it's a team or a smaller team or a large team because there's over 100 of us, or if you're a solo agent, there's a lot of moving parts to what makes a realtor successful. And I think we can all agree at this point in time, especially in San Diego with the market, is that the days of the solo agent being the mass producer is kind of over. And I think it's really adherent to where you are is going to be the level of success that you're going to obtain. And it shows and rectifies in people like yourself who are consistently at the top of our leaderboards. One of the top producers on the team. You're heading in that direction again this year. So it's been amazing to see, at least from the back end side of things, kind of seeing the wave of people that can excel and produce at a high level and also really be a part of something special. In terms of kind of, where you're at now with your journey, what are some things that you're looking forward to, whether it's the rest of this year or the next, 3 to 5 years in your real estate career?
Well, I'm definitely looking to grow more
Hmm.
as a business professional and close more deals, and the most important, help clients
Yeah.
to achieve their dream of home ownership.
Of course. So talk to us a little bit about, what your typical process is like when it comes with clients, right? Because at the same time, there's always realtors that are transactional, deal to deal to deal to deal. And then there's realtors like ourselves where we focus a lot more on the relationship and cultivating and growing that relationship. So what is a little bit about Olga's process that makes things work so well for you and your clients?
Well, my process is that I work when I have deals or even working with a client.
Or when you're on vacation.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. That when I go on vacations, I work.
Right.
Like I always bring my computer. I write offers. I even had like Ellie helping me write counter offer while I was in air
Hmm.
because it was like deadline to send that
Right.
counter offer. Yeah,
Yeah, I think you've probably had about 3 transactions while on a plane this year, or in like the last year or
or
so.
maybe a few. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
quite a few.
yeah, I think the most important that my clients know that I can work 24/7.
Right.
Yes, and I was actually writing offers while I was in Turkey, and it was 5 a.m. time in Istanbul.
Trying to get it done for the clients.
Yes, because there was a deadline to send an offer.
And sometimes we got to do what we got to do.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So a lot of times people look at real estate as I want to be a realtor because I can work whenever I want. Yes and no. For the most part, you're working on your client's time. When
Hmm.
things are working, when things are moving, when deadlines are due, that's when you're working outside of your own time that you're actually working. So it's been interesting to see, and it's been really cool to kind of see you grow here with the team in terms of obviously more deals, more closing, more transactions, growing as a businesswoman in the real estate game. What's like a particular area of focus for you right now? Whether it
It's
be investors or trying to get more listings, is there like a niche that you're trying to focus on a little bit more?
well, I don't really have like specific niche right now, but probably listings and buyers,
Hmm.
and also first-time home buyers.
Right. Yeah, we love first time home buyers,
Yeah.
right? Because obviously we get to kind of help them in the first journey. Obviously, the most expensive investment to
Hmm.
their lives at this point, right? So,
Yeah, and definitely investments for clients that are willing to
right.
come back or who wants to just invest or if they already own a property. Yeah.
For sure. For sure. If you can kind of, obviously taking into account where you've been, what you've been through, how long you've been in real estate, the different kinds of markets you've been through, right? At this point in time in your career, because you're excelling up the ladder very quickly in a very efficient way, and it's been amazing to see, especially kind of, and again, like I mentioned on the back end, kind of seeing people like yourself grow with the team. If you could look back and speak to 18-year-old Olga, wherever she was, and kind of knowing where you're at right now in life, what is a piece of advice that you would give her?
18 years old. Okay, I was still in Russia and I was thinking about going to the United States.
Okay.
Well, I'm here now.
Just
And
keep
I'm
going
not,
on that path.
yeah, and I'm not leaving. Advice, I think more think about the future and thinking about like saving money,
Hmm.
build wealth, because I know that people when they're younger, like when they get money, they do this.
Just spend it
I've
as it
had
comes in.
those moments too in my life.
I think we all have,
Yeah.
right? Especially when you
Mm-hmm.
see one of your first fat checks, you want to enjoy yourself. I deserve this. I earned this. I can kind of enjoy myself. But
Yeah.
I think especially for the you and I, we're at a point in lives where it's very important to kind of have a game plan, and obviously wealth management and obviously health is wealth and wealth is health,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. So in terms of kind of looking ahead, right? What are some of your milestones that you're looking to hit in the next like 5 to 10 years? Like obviously outside of real estate, what is something that you're looking forward to? Whether it's personal life, whether it's just you individually, what is something that you're looking forward to in your life in the next few years?
Next few years, I mean, right now is my biggest milestone. Right now, I'm working on immigrating my parents here,
That's amazing,
and I want to actually buy a place so they where they can live
right?
and
That's
investment.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll end up being the because I know FEMA just did that recently too. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really really amazing. How far is that? Is that there like a timeline? Or are you guys far along in the
Oh no, we're
process?
in the process right now. Yeah, we're just waiting.
That's
So
exciting.
yeah,
Well, I'm
should
happy
be.
for you.
I think it should happen like within this year or
That's
soon
amazing.
enough. Yeah,
You're gonna have to keep us posted on that. So
of course.
obviously, with that being a huge milestone and a huge contribution to you as a person and as a family and individually, oftentimes something that I want to bring up because we talk about it so much here at DAG is legacy, right? whether it's for you, your family, personally, whatever you want to leave behind when all is said and done down the road, or how you want Olga to be remembered. When you think about the word legacy and where you're at in life right now compared to where you've been and where you plan to be down the road, especially once you immigrate your parents over, what would you like Olga's legacy to be?
I think it's gonna be like Walt Disney. If you can dream it, you can do it.
I mean, in all essence, right? That is really true, right? And I think you're a culmination of what the old school style of the American dream kind of essentially is, and you're living that out. So I don't, cliche as it sounds, I think that's super true, and you're obviously living that out.
Yeah, some people say that American dream is fake, but it's not.
It's not.
You can be anybody in this country.
Mm-hmm. And I think it comes down to perspective, right? Oftentimes, we talk about your perspective of the market or your perspective of the current circumstance or situation you're in is going to dictate how you come out of that, right? And your perspective has obviously allowed you to come out of that shell and obviously turn your life into something that you were hoping to turn into while here in America, especially San Diego.
Exactly.
And I'll cut and edit this out. Anything else that you want to bring up or talk about?
No, I guess we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because let's see what else.
Whatever you want to ask.
Yeah, we kind of touched.
Oh, my foot is like.
Foot's falling asleep.
No, it's like tingling.
Oh yeah.
The toes. Yeah.
How do you feel about the flow?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Let's see. So let's see. Okay, cool. And I'll cut and edit to where this gets put into another part. Going in terms of what you said about advice, right? Talking to 18-year-old Olga. In terms of advice that you could provide for maybe some new realtors that are looking to get into real estate or looking for a new team to join, what are some components that you would probably advise them on to look for, to work on, whether it's getting into real estate or looking for a new team?
Advice to be patient, because it takes time to get the clients and to actually close the deal. Because some people I've seen before, like they do open houses for like 2 weeks, cold call, and then like we're done, we're burned out, basically.
Give up quick.
Give up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those industries and one of those games where it's the long game. You have to be in it for the long haul. Sometimes, I mean, it took me 4.5 months to get my first transaction. Not sure how long it took you, but sometimes it'll take people even longer. There's been people that we've seen take just under a year to get their first transaction. So I think it's a culmination of making sure it's exactly what you want to pursue and having the bandwidth to be able to take on all that comes with those steps that you're going to need to take.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Olga, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate our time together. Look forward to having you on the show again. Thank you guys for joining another episode of Dag Life Podcast. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Cool. Simple.
Yeah, it was good.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Learn more about Olga.
I was
17 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's going to be what, May 17th or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't say it. I mean, we shouldn't. You know what was my first job in San Diego?
What was it?
Pedicab driver.
Was it really?
In downtown.
You want to? We can roll it back. You sure?
Nah.
Why not? Why not?
Nah.
All right, that's
fine.
It's fine.
It's
cool.
My past that I'm not too proud of.
Hey,
it's fine.
We all have a past we're not proud of.
No,
and there's nothing wrong with.
But it's actually made me entrepreneur, because I was working my own hours.
That's
and I could work anytime I want.
Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. All right.
Okay.
All right. We're doing it. I love this because this is part of the vulnerability and right.
Yes.
That.
So, you're gonna cut it out.
Yeah, I'll cut and edit because it's still rolling. So 17 years in the U.S., 17 years in San Diego. I have to ask, just because you've been in real estate for 7 years, so that there's a 10-year gap. Talk to us about, because I know entrepreneurship and being a businesswoman is important to you, and obviously it's been amazing to see. What were some of your first jobs when you got here?
Oh, my first job in San Diego was pedicab driver.
Pedicab driver.
In Gaslamp, yeah.
In Gaslamp, wow, I could not picture that.
I was 20 years old, and I came here as a Work and Travel USA program, and I could either go work at like 7-Eleven or some other jobs.
Right.
But pedicab was really popular, and all the people my age were like same from other countries, like exchange students. Some people, they were working at pedicab, and I got interested because I wanted to work my own hours, And I technically was an entrepreneur since the beginning.
I love that. That's amazing. That's great. That's the first time I ever heard that about you.
Yeah, I know.
That's really cool. What would you, from an entrepreneur perspective and making your own hours, what would you say is a lesson that you learned or takeaway from doing pedicab?
But it also takes patience and and time. And actually, it was a great workout
That's
for
good.
legs.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. I
yeah.
love that. Cool.
And it was a fun job. Yeah.
Sweet. We did the closing. So let me work on the closing again.
Okay.
Um, Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Dag Life Podcast with Olga Melnikova. Olga, thank you so much for joining. It was a pleasure having you. Can't wait to have you on again. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Cool. Good job.
Yeah.
It was great.
I didn't like the words. I didn't say mumbling nothing. It was
No,
fine.
no, no. You were perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you were good.
Okay.